My name is Joyce Kabwe, and I'm the Africa Manager for the Green Hydrogen Organization. I coordinate the Africa Green Hydrogen Alliance. The Green Hydrogen Organization is a non-profit that is working to accelerate the production and use of green hydrogen globally. And some of the work that we are doing here is really working around contracting and supporting governments as they get into agreements with private sector developers and an understanding the best way to ensure that the contracts they're getting into we are realizing early benefits for both governments and the private sector players. We also have the Green Hydrogen Standard, which seeks to define the threshold for emissions as well as other sustainable measures in the production of green hydrogen and ensuring that there is environmental safeguarding. And the green hydrogen ensures that we're truly producing green hydrogen and not any other green hydrogen, just to ensure that then we're contributing to the decarbonization agenda. We also have the Planning for Climate Commission, and this work is around reducing the amount of time it takes to permit projects to ensure then that we are getting the green hydrogen economy up and running sooner rather than later. We bring together leading CEOs in the development of green hydrogen to discuss some of the issues pertaining to the production of green hydrogen and also the large-scale renewable energy projects required to get the economy up and running. And we also do quite a bit of work on financing green hydrogen. So this is on blended financing and quantifying the amount of resources required to get green hydrogen up and running. The Green Hydrogen Standard, for one, creates a definition for what is truly green hydrogen, what's the emissions threshold, and how will it contribute to sustainable development goals as well as environmental protection. And so it creates a basis for national level formulation of the policies and also certification standards. And it helps build investor confidence. And because currently most of the projects are not yet development stage, we have the rapid assessment tool that helps you do a quick assessment of your project while it's still in formulation and design phase. And this analysis you can take to an investor and say this is what the project is promising, and it helps you then attract the investments that's required. And at a government level, we see the standard truly influencing whether it's the policies and incentives that will be given to green hydrogen producers. And so we're actually working with national governments to then help in the development of national level standards, because we're saying at a standard level, it's truly then going to be sovereign. And also at the basis of our standard is then being able to truly ensure that there is harmonization. If you're going to trade between Africa and Europe, at least the standards in the two regions need to be speaking to each other. And so it's really exciting to see countries like Egypt start discussions on what does a national level standard look like, or a certification of our green hydrogen standard, which currently has been left to the project developers to figure out. But we are seeing governments increasingly engaging in this issue. Green hydrogen will really help us decarbonize the hard-to-abate sectors. So this we're looking at mining, and we are currently in the process of designing one project around hydrogen for mining. It will also help us in decarbonizing long-haul transport sectors, so like shipping, aviation, and also trucking, and as well as green fertilizers and contributing to food security, particularly here in Africa. What we see is most of the countries are looking at the options of sustainable aviation fuels, synthetic fuels, as well as green fertilizers. And this will be able to realize early benefits. Additionally, this green hydrogen sector, according to a study that we did and launched at COP27, it will create about 2 to 4 million jobs by 2050, as well as increasing the GDPs of countries with about 6 to 12%. And this is already, we can see the impact that countries are going to feel. And it also truly shifts the energy map, because we're seeing countries that have not originally been known to be large energy producers are now somewhere and can contribute to this energy space, such as Namibia, which is one of the leading countries in the production of green hydrogen. The main challenges that we're facing in this sector, one, we can say there's really no agreement on the definition of green hydrogen. The sector has not yet agreed that this is the threshold of emissions, and these are the other aspects that we need to consider, such as the environmental protection and also contribution to the sustainable development goals. So that already begins sort of like this skepticism on where we should stop the color coding and just produce hydrogen is good for the environment. So that lack of agreement on the definition is one of the main challenges that we're experiencing. And then also the projects are still taking quite a bit of time to get off the ground. So which hence our work around planning for climate commission. And we're saying that we need to unlock the bottlenecks that are there to ensure that then the projects are coming online faster. So whether it comes to the enabling environment, so what are the policy and regulations that countries are putting in place, the incentives to ensure that then we're attracting the investments early on, as well as strategic partnerships to ensure that across the value chain, then we're realizing that we're moving faster when everybody's bringing in the best of themselves. So these are just some of the issues that we're experiencing in the space, as well as the offtake market. So it's one of the actual hindrances to unlocking investments currently on who is your offtaker. So your investor wants you to come already with a signed offtake agreement. And it's actually one of the assignments that we really want to work on who's offtaking the market, both at a national level in the countries that members of the Green Hydrogen Alliance, and also at a regional and international level, and see how we can facilitate engagement to help Africa realize some of these market opportunities early on. So in Africa, we see the Africa Green Hydrogen Alliance has currently 8 members. And here we have Angola, we have Egypt, Ethiopia, Mauritania, Morocco, Namibia, and South Africa. And Nigeria and Djibouti have also expressed interest in joining the alliance. And these are the countries that are front-running in the development of green hydrogen on the continent. And you can see there are also the countries that have announced projects in one aspect or another, some more than others, such as Egypt and South Africa are way ahead. Kenya has taken a domestic markets approach. South Africa, Ethiopia has also started engagement on whether it's fertilizers or sustainable aviation fuels. So these are the countries that are actually leading in the region when it comes to the production of green hydrogen, both looking at domestic markets and the exports to Europe. What excites me about the green hydrogen industry is the potential it has to decarbonize the things that we are struggling to understand how we decarbonize. Anything that can be electrified, very well electrify, but the ones that we can't electrify, mining, steel production, cement. So the research that's ongoing around the potential of green hydrogen to decarbonize these sectors is promising and exciting. And I also like the fact that it is shifting the narrative to the usual energy players are changing. So we'll find countries that have the large scale renewable energy potential are coming on board and saying, okay, this is exciting. Let's do an assessment and see what's potential is there in our country and what makes the most sense given our context. So which is how you'll see like Kenya ends up and saying, we are a heavily agricultural country. So green fertilizers make sense in a short term and mid-term as the sector matures. So the fact that it's going to help us realize all these socioeconomic benefits for the African region is truly exciting for me and for our organization. I'm looking forward to speak at the Africa's Green Energy Economy in February 2024. And what I'm really looking forward to this session is saying that the green hydrogen sector, it's here with us, it's happening. And it's about matchmaking. It's about the producers meeting with the off-takers and meeting with the investors. Us being in that room and engaging and exchanging ideas and bringing these partnerships together, it's truly exciting that we're going to be in South Africa for this. And I'm really looking forward to just continue enhancing and deepening engagement with partners and stakeholders, and also calling for financing. During the Africa Climate Summit that took place in Nairobi, we launched a global call for financing that we're seeing that with $6 billion is required every year to get the green hydrogen economy up and running. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing more commitments at the February summit in South Africa, seeing how far we've moved in terms of financing and also in terms of project development. And I truly look forward, and I hope you'll join us there. Such an event is critical because one thing we realized in a study that we did on Africa's green hydrogen potential is that it's taking about 6 organizations or 6 different partners to ensure that green hydrogen projects are successful. And also this is really critical in lowering the risks of the project. And so such events are important because then we are sharing emerging early lessons and best practices around policies, incentives, project development, as well as market access. And it also truly helps us to network and build these partnerships that will really make the green hydrogen sector a success, and that we realize the benefits that the economy holds as far as jobs, increasing our GDPs and changing the livelihoods of the citizens, and as well as contributing to the decarbonization agenda, which is really an urgent call for each and every one of us to contribute towards. I'd like to add that the Africa Green Hydrogen Alliance is excited to welcome more members, countries that are already leading in green hydrogen production and large-scale renewable, and we will be happy to have a conversation and welcome you to the alliance, where we can learn together and ensure that then the green hydrogen economy is truly transforming the African continent. Thank you.